Okay, everyone. In this video, we are going to take a look at using binomial distribution, and this is going to be done in GeoGebra. So it turns out that this is actually going to be very, very easy, at least I hope so, because GeoGebra basically computes a lot of stuff for you. You just need to know a little bit about like what to put where, and then it'll just give you the answer. So let me take this example. So in this example, we've got 59% of college students attend more than one institution. So you can think of a college student either attending more than one institution, which is going to be success, or not. And then that's failure, right? So the first thing you do is you figure out what's your N. N is the number of trials. Now it says, suppose a sample of 6 students is chosen. So this 6, that is your number of trials. That's N, okay? And then the percent that is given in the question, that's always going to be converted to a decimal. So you have to remember that. You cannot put like 59. You have to put 0.59. So you got to divide by 100, and that's going to be probability of success. Now, success again is not literal success. So we don't actually mean that attending more than one institution in the college career is a quote unquote success in actual terms. This may actually be, not so good for students because they have to, maybe some of the classes will not count. Who knows? So that could result in them having to study or stay in college more, maybe an extra semester or whatever. But this is what we're looking at here. So, what is the question? The question is saying, what is the chances exactly 3 students attend more than one institution out of 6? So, this is, we're going to call that number of successes. So that's your X. So you've got 3 things: N, which is the number of trials; P, which is probability of success, so yes or no, so that's 0.51 chance. And then X is 3. And we want to know what is the chance that 3 students out of 6, or 2 students, or 1 student. So anytime you do this exactly this number, we're going to go ahead and use GeoGebra, and I'm going to show you how. Okay, so sorry, this is going to just complain for a little bit, but here's the website that we're going to go to. So I have it right here. So this is geogebra.org / classic, and then you have pound and probability. All right, so this actually is very easy. You could just type that address, but usually on the homework it can actually be already embedded in the question. If it is, then great, you don't even need to know where to go, right? Because it's already gives it to you. But if not, there it is. Okay, so that's pretty easy. This website is going to be right here. All right, so if I go there, it actually does not show me binomial distribution. It has drop down menu right here on the bottom left, and that menu you have to choose. So if you are going there yourself, not like using a question that's inside the question, and so like it's already going to be selected for you, you are going to have to select binomial by yourself, because it just by default it's normal. Okay, so I'm going to select binomial, right? And right next to that, it's going to ask me, what is your number of trials? So I'm going to say 6 because I had 6 students. Then it's going to ask you, what's your P? Well, that's the chance of success. So that would be 59. So that's 0.59. And usually I just like try to make sure that it went through, and it shows me correct answers. So make sure that you press enter every time you every time you enter N and P. And once you enter it, all the answers for exactly this number are going to be over here on the right side. Okay. So let me just take actually a quick screenshot. And yep, so that I can draw on it, because I want to show you what's what here, right? So again, you're gonna have to select, possibly this drop down should say binomial. If it doesn't say, it says normal or something else, then you have to choose that. Okay, then right here you've got your number of trials. So that's like usually going to be given to you in the question before like ABCD. So like in the actual statement of the question, before you get to ABCD, they should give you this N, and then this P, that's your chance of success. And that's again, usually in percents, and you're going to have to convert that before you enter it. Okay. But then once you do that, you basically have all the answers right here in the little table on the right. So for example, if it says, what's the chance that exactly 3 students attended more than one institution? Well, you just look that up right here. Like it says at 3, it's 0.2831. So that's your answer, 0.2831. Okay, I can't write on it because it's like out of screen, but 0.2831 is your answer, right? And so if they say something like, what's the chance that 6 students attended? Well, you can just select that number, right? If it said, so that sometimes can be a little tricky. If they say all students, all is actually this right here. So if it says all, if you ever see all, then your x should be the same as your n. Okay. All right. So, like, if I had 6 students and every single one of them attended more than one institution, then X is going to be 6. Okay. Now, if it said none of the students attended more than one institution, none is 0. Okay. So that, if you highlight that, that's right here. There's your 0. So that's your answer, 0.0048. Okay. So it's really easy. If they want you to do exactly this number, you just look it up in the table. All right. Let's take a look at one more question real quick. So I am going to show you like the menus on GeoGebra also. So let me give you this other setup. Okay, so there's another setup here. So this one right here. So imagine that you have a sample and you have 15 items. Okay, so let me just show you. So you've got 15 items and each item can be either defective or not defective. So you're looking for two things. First of all, what's your N? Well, that's 15 right there. And then what's your P, which is probability of success. Now, notice that if P says 1%, that has to be converted to a decimal by dividing by 100. And 1% by dividing by 100 is not 0.1, it's 0.01. This is a very common mistake. People do that. Okay. So now it's asking you, what's the chance that exactly one item is defective? Okay, so let's see if we can find that, and then we're going to answer questions that are a little bit harder, right? So let's go back to GeoGebra. And at this point, we are going to change this n to 15. And then the chance of success would be 0.01, right? So just press an enter just to make sure. All right. So let me take another little screenshot. So again, to show you what's what here. All right, so I see that, for example, if I want to know what's the chance that no items are defective, like none, right? None would be 0. So that would be the answer, 0.8601. So again, note that there should be binomial, there should be n, there should be p, there should be correct. You don't need to mess with these menus yet. Okay, so I'll show you that in a second. If they said, what's the chance that 2 items are defective, like exactly 2, well, that would be this one. If they said, what's the chance that every single item is defective? Well, that would be this one right here, 15 successes out of 15. But that's 0. And that should make sense. Like, because if the chance of success, quote unquote, defective item is just 1%, what's the chance that every single item that you select is going to be defective? Well, there's not going to happen. Okay, so that's why this is 0. Now, what happens if they say something like at least and at most? So that I have to explain, okay? So if they said, let me go back to the slides over here. So they said something like this. If they said, what's the chance that at most one item is defective? So anytime you see this at most, you need to understand that that is the same thing as less than or equal to. So if it says at most 1, that would be the same as saying less than or equal to 1. And we've talked about that so many times. Hopefully you already remember that. And also, this is the kind of probability that you're going to have to use GeoGebra, and you're going to need to use the left-sided interval. So I'm going to show you that right now. Okay, so what is this left-sided? Where is that? Okay, so let's get back to GeoGebra. So we're right here. So I just want to make sure that you can see it. I don't know if you can see the whole screen. So I just want to like move it to make sure that you can see what's what. So if you want left-sided, you want this button right here. Okay. So this right here, this says left-sided. So that's when we do at most something. So it's like at most 1, at most 2, whatever. All of that is left-sided. Okay. So once you press on that little button, then you put like what it is. So for example, if I want at most 1, so the answer is 0.9904. Okay, so that's pretty easy. Now, what happens if it says it's the same thing, but now it says what's the probability that at least one item is defective? So if it says at least 1, that's the same as more than or equal to 1, right? And so that you should not be too surprised about that. You wouldn't have to use right-sided. So basically what that does is it adds up all the chances from 1 and on, right? And so let's go ahead and see if we can do that. I mean, since GeoGebra gives you that whole table, you can actually edit yourself. But, you know, since that is, I think, easier to do. Okay, so let's say I want to do at least one. So I'm going to select right-sided, this one right here. Now, sometimes what I have to do, and I don't know why, it just does not work. So like, I just have to refresh it. So again, let's go back to binomial Again, just bear with me. I'm gonna put 15. I'm gonna put 0.01, and I want at least one. So at least one is this button right here. So that's when you use right-sided. See, it didn't go through. Okay, finally, like I pressed it, now it works. So at least one. So I'm gonna put one right here. Press enter. I don't know if that's necessary, but that there is your 0.1399. Okay. Now, if for some reason, which is rare, but if they ask you, for example, between 2 and 4 items are defective, you've got another option here, which is called interval. If you choose that, see, like I'm trying to press it and it just does not. I don't know why. Let me try it again. Oh, okay, finally. I just had to like click away and then it changed. Okay, so I choose 2 and 4, let's say, and then it just gives me the answer right there. So that's really very, very easy. Okay. All right. And by the way, okay, so before, because I moved the window, you can see that it also highlighted the range that it computed. So it took 2, 3, and 4 and added up, right? So when we were doing left-sided, for example, x less than or equal to 1, see how it highlighted 0 and 1 over here. If they said x more than or equal to 1, so if we can, okay, I have to click away again. Okay, so I'm going to use this and then one equal to one, and see how it like highlights all the chances that it adds for you, which is really cool, right? Because you can like visually see what's what here. Okay, well, that's how you use to use GeoGebra binomial.